Well, hey there, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. So, got to think about this the other day. I watched a guy on YouTube did a lesson with David Goliath, and I realized some points I'd never thought before when he was going over it. And I was like, I need to jot those down because it's pretty good for me at least. It helped me in my walk and study and thinking about life. But it's in 1 Samuel chapter 17. If you're familiar with that, you know that's the good old story of David and Goliath, which is an awesome story anyway. You got the underdog of underdogs, David, in the sense of being just a young shepherd boy. Of course, he's defeated a lion and bear, but still, you're going into battle, which is quite challenging, especially back then. Goodness, I can't imagine the hand-to-hand battles that you'd have to go through then. It's bad enough now, but back then, they're real men for sure. But he defeats him, with the slingshot, and that kind of makes me think back of being as a kid, me, my brother, and a good friend of mine, in the South. A big thing was rolling yards, which is toilet paper, TP yards for some folks, but we called it rolling yards because you had to roll out your toilet paper. And we've had some pretty good success on some yards that we've done. I know one me and my friend did, we did like 99 rolls. It was us and a few other folks in our yard in just like no time. We had it like strategically planned out. So the yard was white when we got done. But Halloween was a big time for folks to do it. So back in our house at Hamilton, we like full guard camo face paint and everything. We were ready. And folks, when they came up, we had our slingshots, and they didn't stay long in the yard because we were pelting either them or their side of their car. They were getting out of there because we had some artillery coming at them. But we had our victory there over the giants that were coming into our yard trying to roll it. But back to it with David and Goliath. But the points that kind of stood out to me was on later in the chapter, and it's just 2 points that I thought about, and both of them are dealing with the same thing. In verse 48, it says, as the Philistines moved closer to attack him, David ran quickly towards the battle line. So David's running towards it. He's not staying back and thinking. He's just saying, I've got victory. I know I'm going to win. So I'm running towards this battle because, God's on my side, so I've got all the confidence in the world. So why would I hold back, and why would I wait when I know God he's got me? So that was the first one. That kind of hit me. It's like he's running towards the battle, not shying away from it or just letting it happen. Poor pitiful me, what am I going to do? He's running towards it. And then again in verse 51, after he's already cracked Goliath in the skull and the stones sunk into his forehead. Can you imagine that? Hitting someone so hard that it sinks into their forehead. And Goliath is huge. Of course, he's a giant. He's not 9 feet, something tall. I know in the start it talks about how many cubits. Yeah, his height was 6 cubits and a span. So, whew, that's a man. That's a big fella. And then you got David, a young shepherd boy. But he knew he had victory, so he's just, I'm going into this battle. But again, there in 51, it says, and David ran and stood over him. So again, David's killed him, or cracked him in the skull at least, and it stuck in his forehead, and he's running again towards him because I'm fixing to take his head off. Some of the Bible is rated R for sure. And then he takes off his head and stuff. Again, he's running towards victory. So God's head over us and over our lives. So he knew he had victory because God can provide it. So again, just running towards whatever challenges that are in our lives. And and really right at the start too, it'd be like, let's see, in verse 2, Samuel and the Israelite assembled and camped in the valley. So there, David's getting victory in a valley. That's pretty cool too. How many times have you been in valleys in your life, just dust spots and everything else, trying to gain your victory and have success or whatever you're at? But a lot of times that's where the best strength comes from, is in a valley of life. So that's another cool point that I've never thought about. He had victory in a valley of his life. So that's neat to me too. It's neat studying the Bible when you catch on to stuff that you don't see before. Like I said, my time out moments. So victory can come in a valley in your life. So especially when you know God's on your side, you know that there can be victory there, and strength can come from whatever giants are in our lives that we're trying to battle in that valley. So this is kind of to me too, and hopefully for y'all, so y'all can gain some strength as well. But don't get upset or down or discouraged in whatever valley that's in your life, or whatever giant that you're facing, because victory can come, because if you're standing with God, who can be against us, So just trust God and whatever you're doing, and run towards that battle and gain strength, and know that victory can come in the valley. So that's pretty neat. I don't know, maybe you already thought about those points, or maybe like me, you're like, whoa, I never did think that. That's pretty cool, because it was cool to me, and I just wanted to share with y'all. So anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this one. Hope you got something out of it. Y'all like, share, and subscribe if you want to, if you haven't already. And when you do, hey, you're welcome on into the Head to Tail family, and we'll love you and welcome you on in, and we'll fight with you, battles with you. Y'all have already proved that with me. So love y'all, and I'll catch you on the next one.